Okay, yay, we're recording. Okay, I am super freaking excited because I have Sasha here to preach to all of you guys. I'm super pumped for you all to hear her story because Sasha, you inspire me on the daily, and I'm just so pumped for you to preach into everyone. So if you wouldn't mind, there's so many girls on here who don't know who you are, so if you just want to introduce yourself, give us a little blurb of your story, do not be afraid to go into details. We are ready. Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me on. You're so funny. You inspire me. I'm on your Insta every single day, and I'm like, man, this girl's killing it. I gotta be more like her. So my name is Sasha. Hi, Linz. So I joined this business, you guys, almost 5 years ago. It'll actually be 5 years in September, which is just so crazy because I still feel like I'm brand new. And not gonna lie, you guys, when I got started, I sucked for an entire year. And I love saying that as a part of my story because I feel like a lot of people can relate, and so when I got started, you guys, I was in grad school. I had 3 jobs, 1 full-time job, 2 part-time jobs. I was working 7 days a week. I was exhausted. I was tired. I was miserable. I was broke. And at this point, I was seeing Nayara's stories on Instagram, not stories, but her posts. And I was like, okay, this girl is a scammer. Go to the gym, work out because your products are crap. Okay. And I was totally naive to this whole, network marketing thing and products and all this stuff, and so I literally watched her for 6 months before I finally got started, you guys. And thank goodness she followed up with me literally every single day. I mean, not every single day, but every single Sunday because of her following up with me, literally every single day, every single Friday, I ended up signing up. So if you guys have people that are telling you that they're going to sign up, because I was one of those people, I kept telling her I was going to sign up. I told her, and I ignored her every single Friday. Then one day, because she was so consistent in posting and following up with me, I knew who to reach out to, and I reached out to her to get started. So as soon as I got started, and I don't know if you guys can relate, but I was petrified. I was like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? Like, I don't have the money. I maxed out my very last credit card to get started. I had $20 in my checking account, and all my other credit cards were all maxed out. So I literally had nothing to my name at all. But the only thing I will say is that I never missed a day of posting from the day that I joined. I may have been terrible my entire first year because I didn't do anything, but I never not posted, and I never not followed, and I never not messaged. So I did all the things, but I had no attention. I had no chart in front of me. I had no goal. I had no plan. Okay. Then after a solid year, I decided I'm going to do this full time as an executive. Like, why not? I can totally go pres next month. Like, why wouldn't I be able to do that? And I quickly realized that it's going to take some work. And I remember the Zoom so specifically, Emily Wurzing did a Zoom for my team. I asked her, and it's like that entire Zoom, she just slapped me in the face with like these mean to me things because she was calling me out on all my crap, She was like, well, if you're not self-developing, you can't expect to be successful. And I was like, oh. She was like, every single person can enroll customers and distributors. There's so much abundance of them out there. And I was like, wait, no, you got lucky, girl. And you're pretty. Like, that's probably why, right? And I was thinking all those things. And that entire Zoom, she literally was just like tearing down all of my excuses. And that night, I rolled over and I told Adam, and I was like, I'm canceling my account tomorrow because this sucks, and I didn't join at the right time, and I'm not good enough for this business. And he goes, why don't you just sleep on it? I was like, you want to know what? Don't tell me what to do. I'm going to do whatever I want. And the next day, I woke up and I was like, I'm going to be incredible in this business. And that is like literally the epitome of my life. It's always like that. So anyway, so I woke up and I was like, I'm going to take this business seriously. And I started self-developing every single day because, mind you, 12 months thinking it's crap. And I finally decided I'm going to do it. And that's when my life changed. So I finally started working November 1st. I hit diamond December. And then I hit double in February. So I skipped 1 month. And then a year later, I hit triple. And then a year and a half later, I hit pres. And you guys, along the way, there was a lot of crap that happened. And I never stopped working this business. And I learned something new through every single promotion. Did you want me to go into everything that happened? You do? Okay. So I hit diamond, and let me tell you guys how I hit diamond real quick, okay? I rolled over on the 25th thinking that I'm totally gonna already be a diamond. Ooh, it was awesome. I was so excited. Came Christmas morning, and I realized that I was still like 3,000 away, and I was like, projections where? Like, where are these projections? And I cried and cried. Adam's like, you're either gonna cry or you're gonna do it. And I was like, you're right, I'm gonna do it. And I did it because I put my mind to it, because that was something that was important to me. Okay. Then come February, when I go double, and it was obviously 28 days of February, and I rolled over to missing 5,500. And Nay called me, and she goes, so are you doing it? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna like really try. And if you're one of those people that have ever said, yeah, I'm gonna really try, you already know you're not gonna do it, so like stop that. And she goes, no, you need to tell me right now, are you gonna do it or are you not gonna do it? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I did it because I committed to my goals and my results, right? So then I hit double. It was incredible. And then a few months later, Adam went home. And if you guys don't know, Adam's my fiance. You don't see him on my Instagram because I haven't seen him in 3 years. And so literally a few months after that, he went home to Sweden to go renew his visa, you know, all the good things. And they said that he can't come back. And we've been trying to get him back into the country, you know, multiple times. And so I haven't seen him in 3 years. And so I feel like for a lot of people, right, that could like completely derail you from working, right? You can constantly be like, I'm so sad, I'm so sad, I'm so sad, and like just worry about that. But what you guys don't realize is that this should distract you. This should push you, because think about what this business could do for you, okay? So for us, it allows him to stay home and do whatever is important to him. And because of that, he sleeps on my schedule. So he goes to bed midnight my time, which is 6 a.m. his time. And if it weren't for this business, you guys, he would have to get, you know, a regular job, and we would never talk. And I don't even know if we would have worked out, because obviously communication is key. So and plus we don't focus on the distance. We focus on this business. We focus on our goals, and it's an outlet for us to use together. Okay. So you can't ever use a hardship as an excuse. Use it as a driving force. Okay. So that happened. That was like kind of rough. That was like, whatever. That's not like whatever. And so then, I hit triple, and then I hit Prez. And then this past Christmas, like a month before Christmas, my mom broke her back, and it was just the weirdest thing. She just pulled like a string, and her T7 just snapped. And which is so weird, because the doctors were like, you know, that bone should really only snap if it's a high impact car accident. And so that was like kind of weird that it just like snapped. And so then she got tests done, and it turns out she has cancer of the bone marrow. And if you guys know anything about cancer of the bone marrow, it's not curable. You can treat it, but it's something that she's going to have forever. So it's a cancer that she can get fixed, and it'll come back, and fixed, and it'll come back, and fixed, it'll come back, because there's no cure for it. And I remember to like the T that day when I got the call from my mom, and she was crying, and she was like, I have cancer. And I remember like growing up, I was like, cancer, yeah, it's not for like my mom. She's like too cool, you know? And I remember when she called and she was crying, and mind you, my mom's like the toughest person I know. You know, she's a tough cook. Oh my God, can I speak? Ask Lindsay. Okay, my mom is a tough one. Okay, and she's crying, and she says she has cancer. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even know how to react. And so what I did in reaction to that, I went to the gym, and then I went and messaged and did a Insta IGTV, did some Insta stories, messaged a few Zooms for my team, because that is how I knew to cope. I know for me to cope, I know I need to get my mind off of it, because I know if I start sucking myself into that hole of pity and sadness, it's really hard to dig yourself back out of it. So I knew for me, I was like, no, I'm not going to focus on that, because I can't control that. I can't control her cancer. I can't control how they're going to fix it. I can't control any of that. But what I can control is the fact that I'm able to work from my phone, and I'm able to help her every single day. So because of this business, you guys, and because I never slacked during that time, I was with her at every single appointment, every single one. There was not one that I missed. until COVID happened, because then they didn't let me in the hospital. But needless to say, I was literally there every single time, drove her there and back, there and back. And a few weeks ago, and it's so funny because Haley noticed this on my story, but I was on the go literally every single day for like a month. And the thing is, you guys, it wasn't just like down the street. It was like a 45-minute drive there, 45-minute drive back, 45-minute drive there, 45-minute drive back, literally every single day. Okay. But because I was able, you know, to build this foundation of a business when times got hard, instead of slacking off, I put more work into it. I was able to continuously work my business through this entire thing. You know, and I hear excuses all the time, like, oh, I'm here, I can't work this business. What do you mean you can't work this business? Yes, you can. When I was with my mom at the hospital, I was able to work my business. What am I going to do? Stare at her the whole time? Like, that's really uncomfortable for the both of us. I'm not going to do that. Okay. I'm still going to work this business, because if it wasn't for this business, I wouldn't be able to be there for her every stinking day. I wouldn't. But because I never put this business on a back burner, I never had to miss out. And I don't have to miss out on my siblings. They're actually right across this wall over here watching a scary movie. Okay. And I'm able to be with them every single day, and it's a Sunday night. I don't have to be like, you guys, you have to go back home because I got to go work the next day. I don't have to do that, because I never said no to all the opportunities that this business brings. And I'm getting so heated because I wish every single person knew what they had their hands on. You have literally your hands on gold. Okay. And it's like, what are you going to do with it? Are you just going to sit on it and be like, oh, this opportunity is for everyone else, not me? No, it's for you too. Figure out your way to work this business. Figure out how you're going to be successful. Do you want it or do you not? It really just comes down to that. And so now here I am on the Zoom, and that's about my story.
Okay, I just freaking love you. That whole time I was like, yes, and then I was like, gonna cry, and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm heated too, and I just, oh my gosh, you just take me on a roller coaster every time I hear your story. And what I love so much about you, Sasha, is you are such a no excuses girl. Like, you are like the #1 girl with like a nope, like that's not a freaking excuse. You've never used one in this business. You've had so many opportunities to do that, and you never have. And I just love that so much. And I feel like when you're new, it's very easy to come up with excuses because, you know, the business is new. Not everybody does network marketing. I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but that was something I had never done before. I was also in grad school, so it was really hard for me to figure out how I was going to fit it into my schedule. So now my question for you is, and this is more catered towards newbies, is a lot of them will say like, you know, well, I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really know how to fit this into my day-to-day. I have a full-time job. I have school. I'm a mom. You know, all those things, or one of those things. What would you say is like your best way of like working smarter, not harder, as like a new person in the business?
Okay, so one, I'm gonna have to say, if you guys are not utilizing Host to Post, if you're new, and if like, you know, if you were to have asked me this like 3 months ago, I would have been like, I don't work your business. But now that I've started using Host to Post, it really is so much working smarter, not harder. And it's going to produce so much results for you. And at the end of the day, you guys, if you want to be successful, you're going to find those little pockets of time to fit this into your schedule. Nobody is too busy to work this business, because I think people get so lost in their head of, oh, I need to work this business. And it's like, honey, you're on your phone anyway. I promise. You're probably scrolling TikTok, right? Right, friends? You're probably on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, texting your friends, which is great. Great, text your friends. But instead of aimlessly scrolling every single day, why don't you start making it a habit to do something productive for your business? You know, like I think so many people get it so twisted with, oh my God, I have to work. It's going to take so much work. And it's like, girlfriend, you're not changing much of what you're doing. You're just simply, instead of scrolling, you're following, right? Instead of scrolling, you're sending out a few messages. Instead of scrolling, your messaging. Instead of listening to music, you can listen to a podcast, and that's something that's going to just do you so much good, because I don't know if you guys can relate, but sometimes I like to listen to sad songs, right? Just to make myself more sad, because that's fun to do sometimes. But instead of listening to something that's going to make you sad, listen to a podcast that's going to make you happier. Listen to a podcast that's going to inspire you, to motivate you to do better, because at the end of the day, every single person joined for a reason. That reason doesn't disappear. Ever, okay? Not once does that reason disappear, because I'm sure that when you were asked why you joined, you had a whole idea of things. Oh, I want to remodel our house. I want to pay off our debt. I want to get a new car. I want to travel. I want to do these things. You're telling me that all of a sudden you don't want any of those things? You're lying to me. Don't lie to me, because you still want all those things, but you have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing, to wake up 10 minutes earlier. You have to be willing to, do income producing activities in the toilet rather than scrolling TikTok. You have to be willing to hop on a call instead of binge watching Netflix. You have to be willing to listen to a book, instead of just aimlessly laying in bed watching your fan spin. You have to be willing to do all of those things, because those things all pay off, right? You don't just do those things and nothing happens. Things happen. Your life changes, because, you could go from distributor making like $80 a month to in 3 months making $5,000 to $8,000 a month, because those things are, insert income disclosure statement. Those things are all possible with this business. They are. You just have to be willing to learn, willing to grow, willing to put in that simple, mind my words, simple work. Nobody's asking you to lift 1,000,000 pounds and carry it cross country. They're asking you to pick up this beautiful device that allows us to work from the comfort of our homes and just tap, 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 tap. That's literally how simple this business is. It's like so simple. Like, I'm sure you guys can all lift and tap right now, because that business is simple. It's really that simple. And I know a lot of people overcomplicate it, because I overcomplicated it too when I was new, because I was like, oh my God, I put in so much work. The work is fun. I don't know about you guys, but when I enroll and I get that notification, I'm like, woo! And I get pumped, right? It's like that feeling of happiness of helping someone is worth so much more than, watching, I don't even know like what people do for fun. I work my business for fun because it's fun and it provides results that people don't see. I know that for me, if I stuck with Enterprise, it was a great job, don't get me wrong, but if I stuck with Enterprise, I still, if I stuck it out for 5 years, right, I still would not be making more than I'm making now. And I would not be making more than I would have made working there for 15 years, right? Because in this business, you guys, you control your promotions. There's nobody that's going to give you a test. Nobody's that going to compare you to other people to make sure you're a good fit. Honey, if you work hard, you're a good fit, right? And you determine that. You want a 10K pay raise? Honey, go do it, right? There's nobody telling you, well, Stacy's better than you, so best of luck, maybe next year. You know what I'm saying? I think I answered your question, right?
Oh, you definitely did. Okay. Oh my gosh. I love you. Like, Stacy's better than you. Better luck.
Right.
Sure. Like that.
Right.
That happened with me anytime I wanted a promotion at my job, because I would literally like go up against these people who had been in there for a lot longer than I had. And it was crazy because they cared about the job less than I did. And this is why I love so much like our business, because there are some people that look at it and they're like, oh my God, but like, it's not a set paycheck every week. And I'm like, I freaking love that, because I work my butt off. I make my paycheck in this business. So if you're looking at it and you're upset, that's your fault. Nobody did that but you. And I think that's a really hard realization, is when you get that first paycheck. I mean, even for me, when I was new, again, insert income disclosure statement here, but I think my first paycheck was like $54. And I was like, what? Like, you could have worked so much harder. Like, I instantly was just like, Haley, get to work. So I know for me, like, when you're new, everything is just like so overwhelming. The one thing that I personally had trouble with was life posting. And I asked around to my girls before this Zoom what their main concern was. And I got 2 people to say the same thing. So I had to ask you this, because I was like, wow, this is like a popular opinion, is that my life is not interesting enough. How am I supposed to life post every day I want you to talk about that because I feel like you said, you're on the go all the time. Even though you have a lot going on, you're probably like, well, this isn't super interesting. Like, this is just my life. So how do you life post all the time?
So you want to know what? I take a lot of ideas and a lot of, inspiration from other leaders. I do. And you have to remember that you may not think that your life is interesting, but other people may think your life is interesting. I may post a sunset picture that I think looks kind of like crap, but somebody else may be like, oh my God, that is such a beautiful sunset picture. I may post a quote that I'm like, I love this quote. And somebody else can be like, that quote's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because to each their own. And you have to remember what's important to you, because what's important to you is going to be important to the people that are meant to be your followers, that are meant to be in your business, that are meant to be in your organization. And so you have to kind of stop thinking like, oh, I'm boring. Honey, you're not boring. You got a lot to offer. You got a lot to give. You got some favorite music? Share that with your friends. You got a new outfit that you love? Share with your friends. You have some inspirational quotes? Share them with your friends. You know what I'm saying? And record your day to day. Are you eating a good meal? Eat your good meal and show people. I know like one of my girls, 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐢𝐝, I don't know if she's on here, but that girl posts like bomb salads all the time. Okay. She literally is always posting salads. And I'm like, man, like I would follow her just for the salads because they look so good. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to just play around with Instagram. Have fun. Are you driving and you love the sky? Talk about how much you love the sky. That sky, that whatever cloud, cumulonimbus cloud is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta just be funny. You gotta just be you. You have to just try to explore, look at other people, look at what they're talking about. For me, I get a lot of my ideas for talking on Instagram through all of the responses that I hear. So think about it. Do you get distributors or like potential distributors are like, oh, I'm from a really little town. I could never do this. Are you from a little town? Why don't you talk and say, hey guys, I'm so excited you're here. So I just want to hop on it and just throw this out here. I just got the sweetest girl to message me, and it makes me like so sad because she doesn't think she could do this because she's from a small town. And I want you guys to know that if you're from a small town, you guys could totally do what I do. I'm also from a small town. Can you relate? Can you shut down their thing of as to why they can't join you? You absolutely can. So talk about that. Did you have a happy customer? Talk about that happy customer. Did this business allow you to do something? Talk about it. Insert income disclosure statement. You know what I'm saying? And just talk about your everyday to day life. Are you going to the store? Take a picture of it. Because people love to see those small things. People love to see that you're not, at a job. Maybe you're at the pool on a Wednesday. People want to see that. Be like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm working by the pool. Which may not be a lot to you, but it could be a lot to somebody else. You guys know what sold me on this business? Nayara sleeping in. I was pissed. I was like, this girl sleeping in? I'm up at like 5:30 to go to work. That's what sold me. Her sleeping in, is that like a huge deal? Is that interesting? Probably not. People are like, whatever, she's sleeping in. But to me, I was like, man, if I could sleep in, that would just make a world of a difference for me, right? And the same thing goes with driving and looking at cumulonimbus clouds. For you, that may be boring, but for somebody, it could be like, you know what? My favorite thing to do is just drive around. And I'm so sad that I don't get to just drive around. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to look at your life and you have to be obsessed with your life and you have to love it because you have something to offer every single person. What you may post on your page, may attract people. And those people that you attract may look at my page and be like, dude, Sasha's annoying. I hate her. Right? But they could flock to your page and be like, I love her. I love her so much. You know what I'm saying? Because your vibe attracts your tribe. And that's true. And so start becoming obsessed with what you post. Look at other people. What are they posting? Do they have like a favorite, Insta thing that they share their captions? What is it that they're posting? Because you joined for a reason. So if you joined with Haley, why did you join Haley? What was she posting about that interested you? Was it her talking? Why don't you start coming up with your own ideas of how to talk? Was it her making her coffee every single morning? Why don't you start making your coffee every single morning? Was it her being at the pool? Maybe you should take pics by the pool. you know? And so start doing those things that interest you. And you have to start looking at your story and your captions and your pictures and be like, all right, if I was a potential looking, would I want to join? If the answer is no, back it up, try again. Okay? Does that help?
Yes, I love that so much because whenever I joined, I remember that the reason that I joined was because she was working from her phone and just doing her life at the same time. And she was making money. And she was like, I'm making money right here at the grocery store. And I was like, what? Like what? Right there at the grocery store in line. Are you serious? So that's why no matter what I'm doing, I'm literally mixing the business in with this lifestyle. I feel like a lot of people think it has to be separate, and it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like this, your phone goes with you everywhere. So why not show the business with your whole life? You know what I mean? Like today, I went on a freaking safari and looked at animals all day, and I literally had my phone the whole time. And you bet your butt that when I get off here, I'm going to talk about how I literally helped someone get started with the products while I was watching a zebra. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and maybe I'm going to attract somebody like you said, who's like, oh my God, like, wow, I would really love to do that. You know what I mean? I would really love to just work my phone and do fun stuff with my family and my friends, because that's what this life is about, guys, is always having time. You know, like Lindsay's taught me more than anybody that time is so valuable. You know, like money is money, but time is money, you know? And so I feel like for me, anytime I look at where my time goes, I'm like, it needs to go towards this business. So that kind of leads into my next question of whenever you like, I get this a lot. I'm really unmotivated to work. I feel like I don't have a lot of time, and I feel like that really like, you know, pushes me down because I get home from work and I'm tired. Or maybe you can relate to this when you were in school. Like, were you tired when you got home? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people are like, I'm too tired to work this business. I'm very unmotivated.
So one, let's start with, okay, well, why are you unmotivated? Do you not have goals? Do you not have dreams? And at the end of the day, I can almost guarantee you that you don't have a chart in front of you, because if you had a chart, you would be pretty darn motivated every single day to work this business, because you would know where you're going. And I would say my biggest downfall when I was a newbie is I never had a chart out. And so, as you guys may know, if you don't have a chart out, you don't have a roadmap, right? So it's like driving with your eyes closed somewhere, but trying to go to like California or something, okay? And it's nearly impossible for you to even want to work this business because you have no idea where you're traveling to, okay? So one, get a chart out. What are you promoting to? That chart, the chart, that chart should literally be slapped on your forehead, okay? Every single day. It should be going with you every single place that you can possibly imagine, because you need to know what you're accomplishing that day, okay? And you have to just be honest with yourself, and you have to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, I just said I'm tired, but I don't mind sitting on Netflix for 4 hours, okay? And you have to be like, all right, if I'm willing to just sit on my butt watching Netflix, scrolling on my phone, I'm not too tired to work this business, okay? And you guys have to stop lying to yourself. And what I found a lot with people in this business, myself included, we lie to ourselves a lot because we just want to feel better. We want to have an excuse as to why we're not doing something, but it's a lie. I promise you, you're not too tired to work this business because you're doing other things. Okay, that could be income producing activities. And so you're lying to yourself that you're not motivated because you are motivated. You're just scared. You're scared to put yourself out there and just not do the things. Okay, and you just, one, like I said, you have to get the darn chart out. Get it out and realize where you're going. And two, you have to just run after whatever you want. You want $500? Go get $500. You want $1,000? Go get $1,000. And biggest thing too, you guys, is make sure that you're constantly talking to your upline, okay? And I'm not saying sidelines who are just gonna give you like a little pat on the back, be like, yeah, I get it, you tried me. Don't talk to them. Don't talk to them. Talk to an upline that's literally gonna spark a fire under your butt every single time that they talk to you, because they know you're so much better than that, okay? And if you're surrounding yourselves around the fire, you're constantly going to have motivation, right? Because they're going to be talking about ideas. They're going to be talking about ways to grow their business. They're going to talk about ways to enroll customers and distributors. And that's constantly the only thing you're going to hear. You're not going to hear, you're right, honey, try again tomorrow. You're never going to hear that, right? You're never going to hear, well, you know what, there's always next month, or there's always next year. You're not going to hear that, because your uplines know what you're capable of doing, and your uplines want the best for you. And you have to start surrounding yourselves around them. That is what's going to set you apart. And that's what's going to keep you motivated, because the only thing you're going to hear about is success, 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 success. And that's going to become a habit.
Oh, so sorry. I was muting somebody. But seriously, that's so good. From the moment that I even like met Lindsay, was in her phone every single day. And any day that I think it's happened twice, like the long time that we've known each other, where I haven't talked to her one day. And it's so funny. I tell all my girls that, because I'm like, I wouldn't be where I am without her. Like you know what I mean? Like, I feel like for me, like, I always look at like, who is successful in this business? Who do I want to talk to? You know what I mean? And that's why, like, I'm always voice messaging. I want to show them how excited I am. So I literally am always doing that with everybody. I'm literally in their inbox all the time. I literally look at all the love for you, Sash, in the chat. I love it so much. But seriously, like, I love what you said, talk to your upline, because I would be so freaking lost without Lens. Like, I don't even know where I would be right now. So, like, I'm so blessed that, like, I had someone who was willing to pour into me. And I know that if you're on this Zoom and your upline is on this Zoom, they're willing to pour into you. It is your job to reach out to them and tell them where you're stuck, because a lot of the times we don't know where your head is at, right? So last question, there's 5 minutes left. I just wanted to ask, what would you say to someone who has felt like stuck, and maybe they haven't enrolled in days or maybe even weeks? Like, what would be your best tip for, like, you know, getting out of that?
Well, you know, you always got to start with one. And that is something actually Lindsay taught me. And I'm sure you've heard this from her, or if you haven't, you know, when she decided to become a mass enroller, she said, I'm going to start with one, and then I'm going to build off of that one. And so stop it. And so you guys, you truly do. You have to start with one, because if you guys have ever enrolled one customer, you know how to enroll them. If you've ever enrolled a distributor, you know how to enroll them. And you have to start thinking outside the box. Okay? You have to start thinking outside the box, and you have to be willing to put in the work, because a lot of the times when you're not enrolling for multiple days or multiple weeks, you're again lying to yourself that you're putting in all this work, but you're not putting in the work. You're just not. Okay? By you saying, oh yeah, I messaged. Well, how many? 5? Obviously that's not going to produce the results, right? Have you posted? What, 1 hosted post? Honey, that's going to do nothing for you. You have to start putting in massive action. And once you get that one, it's like breaking the seal. You're going to get more and more and more and more. And it all starts with putting in the work to get it done, and being so intentional with your time, not going to bed until you get it done. Because here's the thing, you guys, I don't know if this will shock you guys, but there's customers and distributors going into the system daily, right? So why are you not doing it? That's a choice. If you're not putting in customers and distributors into the system every single day, that is a choice that you're making. That is a choice between waking up a few minutes earlier and doing self-development and meditating, praying, whatever you do, and sleeping in and hitting the snooze button. It's a difference of sending out, 200 plus messages a day, or just, feeling like watching Netflix for 3 hours. It's a difference between you listening to a podcast or you listening to songs that just make you cry in the car. It's a difference between you hopping on a Zoom or being like, I'm a little bit too good for the Zoom. I already know what she's going to say, so I'm just not going to hop on it. It's those little things, and those little things build upon each other. And when you start doing a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, you're going to build confidence. And this entire business, you guys, is all based on confidence. If you're confident in what you do, you're going to attract people that are just going to believe you, right? And they're going to believe what you have to offer. And the more that you guys are doing, the more you're going to believe in the products, right? Because you're signing a crap ton of customers. You're going to believe in the business because, you know exactly what it has to offer, because you see the money that you're making, right? And you're going to just radiate this positivity and this confidence to every single person that you talk to. Every single person is going to want to sign up with you. But it takes those little habits that you need to start stacking. And again, you got to be honest with yourself. Are you willing to put in the work? Because don't look side to side being like, oh my God, she's so lucky. She makes so much money. But are you willing to do what I'm willing to do? I don't think so. And if you are, then step it up. Okay? At the end of the day, you got to step your baloney up if you really want this to work. And also, you guys, let me just preface this too. If you think taking summers off is a good idea, it's not, because come fall time when we're going to be harvesting, I'm going to harvest all of your potentials because you haven't followed up or posted about it. Okay? For real. I will. Because at the end of the day, you guys, this season, you need to be really hustling. Hustle harder because it's going to set you apart, and those promotions, they're going to be all yours. Okay? When you guys get through this season. So yeah.
Ooh, mic drop. Oh my gosh. Ooh, girl. I love that. Yes. Well, you know what? I'm going to keep my potentials over here. I'll take care of it. You keep yours. I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh. Literally, thank you so much, Sasha. I'm going to stop recording.